right, yeah, close. There you go.
Yeah, it ain't too bad. So what we have is a piece of 1.5 inch thick aluminum. This is a job that I'm going to be helping out Joe with down at the welding shop. What they're making, this is going to be a strut for a commercial fishing boat. And what he was needing, he asked me if I could bevel 3 sides. So we've got this side here that we're going to bevel, this side, and this side as well. 45 degrees off of each side there. And this isn't something that's going to be super fussy and real critical on the size. We need the bevels on there because the way this will get installed through the hull of the boat this way, it gets welded up in there. They got some more supports that come down and weld to the side. So it's going to be cutting through the water, you know, this way here or from this way as well. So the bevel's on there so that it cut through the water. Also right here on this side is where the cutlass bearing is going to be welded to this here. So you got your prop shaft that will come down through the hull this way, go through the cutlass bearing and on back to the prop. So this is what he called me about and seeing if we could get this done right away because it is a rush job for them. So I told him I'd help him out. We got it set up in this big Marvel saw and I got it cut. And so we're going to go ahead and set up probably for speed and efficiency, probably go ahead and use the little do-all mill there and maybe kick the head. I'm trying to decide on how I want to get this done, but that's probably the best option for me today. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this guy. Complete change of directions here. I have decided to use the G&E shaper to do this. I was setting up the do-all mill there, and it's just going to be too tight of a setup with that size mill to do what it is I'm trying to do. So for me, it was simpler and quicker to take this vise off right here just to get the vise off out of the way and clamp the plate here to the table. I've still got to get this trimmed in. We got to get this side indicated. And I'm just going to simply use the head with the automatic down feed to cut the bevel on each side. So this is a great application for this machine right here. And just because my do-all is so much smaller, I'm more limited on what the workpiece size I can do with that. And having to do the 45, there's different configurations you could do. I really want to do a face mill on that, but you could also put an end mill in there and side cut it. But I just decided I wanted to use the shaper to get this done, and that's what we're going to do. So once I get everything set up ready to cut, I'll bring you back because I'm not going to do a full how-to and everything, but we're going to indicate this side right here, this bandsaw cut, get this nice and straight in line with the ram there, and then I'm going to blue it so that I can see where my center line is and make a simple 45-degree cut here using this tool head. It's going to auto feed down. So that's the plan. We'll show you the cuts once we get to that point. I'm ready to start making our first cut. So you can see I've just got it laid out there. This is not anything super critical. Joe said, I just want a little land in the middle there, somewhere around 3/16 to a quarter, but even that is not really critical. So we've got everything set up. We got our tool head on a 45. I'm going to try a 16 thousandths per stroke right there. So that means every time the head goes back and hits the ramp, it's going to advance the tool 16 thousandths down. All right. That'll be 1/8 cut on our first try. See how it does. High-speed tool. I touched it up on the grinder to hone the radius. Hopefully that's going to do pretty good. So let's get going with it. I think we got everything set. We've got the knee locked. Feet is disengaged here. I think we're ready to go. Let's give it a try. Put a little tension on that. Seems to be working just fine. And there we go. There's one cut down. So you have to stop this thing. You have to stop it out here somewhere. If you try to retract it, so when the gear is meshed here, you can't retract the tool, move the tool head up. So you have to stop it out here at the end of the stroke, just like that, and then retract the tool. Not bad at all. That's the cutting fluid that I'm using there, that A9 by Relton. So we should have, we got this cut and then one more cut. I'm just, like usual and stuff like this, I'm just kind of taking my time, making sure that I don't overdo the cut and screw anything up. But we should be making a total of like 5 cuts on each side here, 1/8 of an inch a pass. But I will make a finish cut on there with a slower feed, just to kind of pretty up the finish just a little bit. There's always something enjoyable about being able to, once you get this machine set up and it's running, it's doing its thing, it's fun to watch this thing and watch the mechanics operate. And this setup right here, what I'm doing, to me, is just a lot simpler than trying to set a milling machine up on angles to do a simple cut, especially for something that is not critical at all. This is just an angle because this is going to be cutting through water. All right, one more pass at 1/8 of an inch step over and we should be about where we need it to be. I've got the plate flipped over, so we're gonna cut this other side of the bevel. There's the one we just cut. The other thing that you can actually do on this machine if you want to, we could hang this off a little bit further and cut one side and go in and cut the other. That would require flipping the tool head the other way, rearranging the tool. I need to find a different tool bit to go in there. For me, I just decided to unclamp it, flip it over, tram it in real quick and go. That's what we're doing. So I'll show you, we got it trammed in. So right about here, 0, right around here, 0, you know, plus minus 5 thousandths. That's gonna be good enough for what we're doing right there. So now that the tool is still set up right where we need, all I gotta do is touch the corner off and do the offset, and we're ready to start making our next cut. I just touched the tool off on the corner. I just keep working the table and the down feed on the head, and I just keep doing this real quickly. Just run it up and down, just like that. Keep making adjustments on your cross rail here till you see the tool. It's probably hard to see it on this camera. There's a little dot right there. That's where the tool is rubbing the aluminum. So that's our touch off. We got indicator set on 0. Now we can start our offset for our cuts this way. We do have to reset our stroke length because I changed it when I was indicating, so we have to set our stroke length and also the position of the ram there. So that's what I've been doing. And these kind of cuts right here, you have to take consideration that you're going further back because of this angle here. But also here, you see like the end of the cut isn't just there, but it's going to be further out there. So you make sure that your tool extends past this where it's going to stop cutting, also up here as well. So it's a 20-inch from here to here, but overall it's about 22. So that's what I set the machine at right here, is 22 inches, and then get it centered on there like it should be. And we're ready to go. We've got this set up for our auto down feed. We're ready to go. Got to change speeds on me and get this set. We're going to go ahead and using 16 thousandths. All right, and then we're going to just swap out our feed right here and speed it up just a little bit. I am going to try a more aggressive cut this time, so we've got a 200,000th step over instead of 125. We should be able to make 3 cuts and get it done. 200, 400, and then I'm sorry, maybe I misspoke there. Maybe we'll go 3 cuts and then a finish cut. 2, 4, 6, and then a finish. 200 at its full depth here. Handled it just fine. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go 200, 400, 600, and then we'll do that last little bit. We'll just slow our feed rate down for our finished cut. That's our last rough pass on this one, so all we got is 25 thousandths to go, and we'll do that with a finishing pass now. Finishing pass here. I just slow the feed rate down by half, so we're doing 8 thousandths per stroke on our down feed. There's our first side cut. It's got a nice finish on there. I think you might be able to see that, but it's got a nice smooth finish to it. All right, so time to loosen it and swivel it around. I'll probably just go ahead and pivot and do this side next. This is going to be their shortest cut, and then the last one's going to be our long side right here. I think it's about 26 inches on our length of cut on that one right there. All right, we got this thing set up ready for our next cut. We're going to just repeat it, just have a shorter cut right here. About 10 inch, 10, 11 inches there. I got it sped up and just need to engage the feed up here, 16, and here we go. Working nicely. All right, that was pretty quick. I'm still just maintaining 200 thousandths. In reality, we really could take a lot heavier cut than this, but I'm just trying to be conservative of what we're doing. Not trying to crash it in any way. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the table to me, another 200. 1, 2. Bring the tool down close. Right about there. We'll go ahead and start our cut again. I will say that the cutting oil does make a difference on this because it's the speed at which we're cutting here, and aluminum can be a little gummy. Try to chip weld on you. All right, moving right along. right, we just finished that one right there. So just more of the same. We're gonna go ahead and flip this guy over, indicate it, cut the other side, and get this one done. This shouldn't take very long. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna bring you guys back whenever we're doing the long cuts on that back side for our final cuts. All right, we just finished up the short side there. Man, that cut looks great, so smooth. All right, so we're down to our last side, which is gonna be this guy right here. We're gonna go ahead and get that set up, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to cut that one. All right, we're set up with the long stroke there. I can't run it any faster because the transmission tries to jump out of gear when I do on the return stroke. But that's the reason we're running the speed we are. All right, there's our first long side finished up right there. Surface finish could have been a little bit better if I could run that thing faster than that, but I think that's gonna be acceptable where it's at there. So, all right, flip it over, and we're gonna be down to our last side to cut right there. Looks like it's right on it. right, well, we got it done, and Joe is here ready to pick this thing up. And they're going to start working on it probably first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
They're going to start working on this thing. As I said before, so this is the side here. They got a cutlass bearing that's going to get welded onto this end. This is going to go up inside the boat. It's going to get welded up in here, correct?
Correct.
That area there. So this is where it cuts through the water on both sides. So there's a big process involved in getting this lined up right, getting everything, get the shaft line, the cutlass bearing aligned. And he said I could probably go down there tomorrow, maybe get a shot or two of them getting this thing tacked in. So we may try to do that. So hopefully we can make that happen. But shaper worked out pretty good. And I'm glad to get it done. We're gonna get it unbolted so he can get out of here with it.